want Republicans to sit down at the table for a serious negotiation about really serious issues. But Republican leadership is off playing make-believe in la-la land. How are we supposed to negotiate with President Trump when he's busy frying his mind in an AI fantasy world of mariachi bands and science fiction medbeds and who knows what next? And how are we supposed to negotiate with Republican leaders when they are refusing to work on a bipartisan path out and just making lies up about our Democratic proposal? For everyone who's only heard the Republican nonsense, let me make our agenda clear. Here's what Democrats actually want to do. We want to stop your health care premiums from doubling next year. We want to stop millions of people from getting priced out of their insurance and getting sick or going without care. We want to stop hospitals from closing. I wonder why Republicans have such a hard time being honest about that. Well, maybe because they caused this healthcare crisis in the first place. And let's be crystal clear. It is not honest for Republicans to try and just say, oh, well, we can just talk about healthcare later. We pinky promise. Rate hikes are being finalized right now. Notices with massive price increases will land in our families' mailboxes this month. Open enrollment starts in a matter of a few weeks. That means families are going to start seeing their premiums double. People are going to get priced out of coverage, that is, unless we act now. There is no waiting. We have been waiting. There is no later. That is too late. Our Republicans say they will not talk about solutions until the damage is done. Are they saying they want to lock in the high healthcare rates first? You know, the best time to put out a fire is before it burns down the house. Surely Republicans don't need me to tell them that. But if Republicans insist on asking why we can't address healthcare later, I've got a few questions for them. First off, why the heck couldn't we talk about healthcare sooner? Where in the world have you been? You moved heaven and earth to pass new tax breaks for billionaires by cutting over $1 trillion from Americans' health care. Why won't you move a muscle to save health care for our working families? I mean, my goodness, why is it not until there is a shutdown Republican leaders will even say we can at least talk about health care? Oh, but not yet. And if a shutdown is the first time Republican leaders will even acknowledge in the slightest whisper the looming healthcare crisis, why should we trust for 1 second you'll get $83 a month to as high as $1,800 a month if Republicans insist on inaction? And I know they're not the only ones. To my Republican colleagues who don't think this is a crisis, to anyone who thinks healthcare can wait, go out and talk to people. Talk to insurance companies in your states or doctors or hospitals or patients, and then come to the table and talk with us. We are here. We are ready to work on real solutions to address this healthcare crisis and reopen the government. I've been at the table the whole time. I am here. I am ready. I am willing to work out a real solution to get this done. Thank you, Mr. President. I yield the floor.
Who's speaking? The main speaker is Senator Patty Murray. At the end, you hear the Senate clerk reading an official motion. What's she saying? Senator Murray is basically lighting into the Republican Party. She says they're off in la-la land and living in an AI fantasy world instead of dealing with a real crisis. The main point. She's sounding the alarm that healthcare premiums are about to double for families right now. She argues that Democrats want to sit down and fix it, but Republicans are refusing to negotiate, making up lies, and telling everyone to wait. Her point is simple. You can't put out a fire after the house has already burned down. The time to act is now, before people get those massive bills in the mail. Okay, wow. You can feel the frustration in her voice. When she said, "Where in the world have you been?" I felt that. It's like watching one parent try to have a serious family talk while the other is just not in the room. Her argument that rate hikes are being finalized this month is a serious gut punch. It makes the whole "we'll talk about it later" excuse sound completely out of touch. It's not some future problem. She's saying the train is literally about to hit, and the other side is refusing to even look at the tracks. That line about mariachi bands and science fiction, medbeds, was some seriously creative political shade. Not gonna lie. It's a wild thing to hear on the Senate floor. This is a classic example of why it's so important to pay attention to the details of what our elected officials are doing or not doing. Regardless of your political party, when you hear about issues like this, it's a great reminder to check in with your own representatives. A quick call or email to let them know that your family's healthcare costs are a top priority for you can make a huge difference. Your voice is more powerful than you think. What did you all think of her speech? Was the urgency justified? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it. And if you want to keep breaking down shocking and important moments, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my Shock Filer. You won't want to miss what's next. Peace.